Trade in ancient Greece. In the ancient world, olive oil was called both liquid gold by the legendary Greek author Homer and the great healer by Hippocrates, an ancient Greek physician considered to be the father of Western medicine. Around 3500 BC, during the early Minoan time of ancient Greece, the first cultivation of the olive tree took place on the island of Crete. Over time, the Minoans perfected the process of cultivating the tree, and it became an important aspect of their tradition. Olive oil helped generate income for the Greeks through trade. Ancient Greeks were the first to export olive oil to both Africa and the Middle East, where it was widely used not only nutritionally but religiously as well, and therefore held great value throughout the Mediterranean. The existence of trade, or emporia, was a fundamental feature of the ancient world, existing from Minoan and Mycenaean times back in the Bronze Age. Following territorial expansion, goods could be bought, sold, and exchanged in one part of the Mediterranean which had their origin in a completely different and far distant region. The presence of beautiful pottery and other precious commodities, including gold, copper, and ivory, were found in Greece, far from their origins abroad, which demonstrates how vast the exchange system of merchants, or emporii, really was that existed between Egypt, Asia Minor, the Greek mainland, and islands. Food, raw materials, and manufactured goods were not only made available to the Greeks for the first time, but the export of classics such as wine, olives, and pottery assisted in spreading Greek culture abroad. After the fall of commerce during the Dark Age, ancient Greek international trade grew again following 750 BC, as exchanges advanced across the Mediterranean, driven by evolving social, political, and economic factors such as colonization, alliances, the spread of currency, and warfare. Over time, permanent trading places sprang up throughout Greece, where merchants of different nationalities met up to trade. After being imported, goods from all over the region were available at these marketplaces of major urban centers. Items commonly being traded included textiles, spices, and slaves from Egypt. Slaves are being depicted here in this red figure pottery. Cities rich in a wide array of items became financially prosperous and began drawing people in search of specific objects they may not be able to find elsewhere near. From the 5th century BC, Athens' port of Piraeus became the most significant trading center in the Mediterranean and gained a reputation as the place to find any type of goods on the market. Goods in ancient Greece were not only traded internationally, but also between different city-states. This domestic commerce included cereal, wine, olive, figs, cheese, and honey. Wine, bronzework, olive and olive oil, and marble were the highest exports out of Greece. The importance of wine can be seen on this black figure pottery. While peasants and artisans often sold their own wares, there were also retail merchants which grouped into a guild. They primarily sold fish, olive oil, and vegetables, and women sold perfume and ribbons. All merchants were required to pay a fee for their space in the marketplace, but were viewed poorly by the general public. Additionally, there were also those who sold the surplus of their household production, such as vegetables, olive oil, or bread, which was the case for many small-scale farmers. Among townsfolk, this task often fell to women. At the time, fine Greek pottery was also in great demand abroad, and examples have been found as far as the Atlantic coast of Africa. The overall involvement of the state in trade was relatively limited. However, a notable exception was that of grain. A largely traded product was barley, evidence of which can be seen on a Linear B stone tablet recording monthly inventories of amounts not only purchased but also consumed during Mycenaean times. It was so vital to feed Athens' large population, especially during times of drought, that trade in wheat was controlled and purchased by a special grain buyer. An offense of obstructing the import of grain or attempting to re-export it was so serious that the punishment was death. Market officials ensured the quality of goods on sale in the markets, and grain had its own supervisors, who regulated the prices and quantities. After the decline of the Greek city-states in the late classical period, international trade moved out of Greece. However, many Greek cities continued to be important trading centers during later times, especially Athens, which has a large market to this day. It is imperative to study the trade of ancient Greece in order to provide valuable insight into the domestic and international relationships of the period, as well as social, political, and economic factors that may affect them. Delving deeper into the various aspects of trade can further aid in painting the picture of what everyday life looked like in Greece for the people of its time.